Last week, we were addressed by someone at Oral Communications about the schools. This was not just a member of the general public. This was an elected official, Greg, from the school board, to say that the city does not work with the district on joint use capital projects, or that we don't work with them on student safety issues. And I hate to use the word, it's a lie. I'm not sure where the rest of the board stands on this, whether they buy into these charges, but as of today, no one has contacted me to repudiate these remarks. Do the other members of the board, does the superintendent know about this and condone these charges that are being hurled at the city? I honestly want to know. Communication was repeated time and time again by the speaker. Well, either there is no communication between the speaker and those staff at the school district who deal with these issues, or the information being fed to him is false. So I ask, where is your communication? I don't want anyone in the public to believe my words on these issues. You might say I'm biased. So with no objection from my colleagues, I'm going to ask our city manager, we have police, we have fire, we have Parks Department here. I would like you to give us the facts on the points raised at the dais last week and throughout the preceding year regarding the school district and the city. Chief, this isn't agendized, and we're going to treat this as a staff comment.
I hate to say this, but sometimes I go a little bit too long, but I'd like to ask a question from the city attorneys. Isn't this turning into almost a staff report? I mean, is this considered to be council comments? Is this brief? In all due respect, Mr. Mayor, I think maybe this needs to be agendized.
We have a point of order. The point of order may be put to a vote, Mr. Howard.
Point of order may be put to a vote.
What are we voting on?
The question is whether to permit the chief to continue speaking on this issue.
Or?
Let me point out something, and I feel incumbent to do so.
Point of orders need to be voted on, should they not be agreed to by the...
You can agree on a point of order, but let me indicate the risk of what you're doing here, so that you all understand what you're voting on. You're voting on whether or not to allow somebody to speak during staff comments, which under the Brown Act provides that members of the staff or elected officials may make brief personal comments about matters that are within your own personal knowledge or to which you want a brief response. The term brief is used 3 times in that particular statute. There is no definition of brief, so I look at it in the terms of context. What is brief in terms of context, particularly in responding to people who speak at oral communications, as an example, as only an example. So without having a definition, one just has to look at context. I tend to agree with Mr. Yusefian that this is an item where you're seeking input from multiple members of staff on an item that you could put on the agenda for purposes of information, and members of the public may wish to comment on it at that time. They have no opportunity to really comment on this except now at oral communications and try to digest it. It's a point of order that I think if you vote on to continue, there's a risk involved in terms of how the nexus it has or the implications it has with the Brown Act.
Will Mr. Yusefian retract his objection to the point of order?
No, I won't. I still think we need to discuss this thing in more than what he's going to say.
I'm ready to call the vote on the objection regarding the point of order.
Vote against him because I'm with Mr. Yusefian.
Okay.
I may be naive, but I've been here going to my 12th year, and I've never seen council comments treated this way.